Today's golf lesson's massive. It will help everyone I work with and it will help you as well. And it doesn't matter if you are that person, or this person with the more standard, regular, beautiful technique. Controlling low point. So controlling this. So my ball on that last shot was, say, here. So I got the ball, started interacting with the ground actually here, but my low point with my iron was ahead of the ball. And it's these low point ideas, no matter what your technique, that you should have some level of control of. So we're going to talk about 3 ways to control low point. So first of all, I want you to think about low point as fatten and thinning irons, controlling strike. And I want you to think you've got a few ways of controlling this. You've got horizontal. So for instance, I can just stand ahead of the ball here. So move horizontally forward. I'd probably hit the ball first in the ground, low point way above, ahead of the ball. I can be horizontally backwards, catching the ground early and then topping and thinning. So I've got horizontal. Then I've got vertical. So am I kind of crashing down? Am I starting down and raising up? I've got vertical as well, which might control how my club interacts with the ground. And then the final one is I've got rotation. So torque, so thinking about how much you're turning, so you could turn loads, not turn much back the other way. Tends to bottom people out early. I can be really rigid on the way back and turn massively through, which might move low point forward. All these things are going to control low point, in turn strike. And you need to get some control of them. So here's some great drills to give you that control. And the point of today's video, which I see lots of people mixing up on and getting kind of stuck on, is you could do these, doesn't matter what, like how crazy your technique is, controlling low point is still a skill you can practice. So let's start with the horizontal first. So trying to move laterally, say, towards target. Great drill I get students to do to try and improve horizontal. So if there's someone who tends to kind of sway over onto the right and then just turn, they struggle to get back, give them a little boost. What I do is I ask them to set up to a ball which is opposite, say, the middle of their toes on their lead foot. So my club head here is about a foot behind the ball. And the game is to try and use horizontal to catch up to that ball, to still hit a shot somewhere towards target, because obviously if I was hitting that ball that far early or late in my swing, my club would be going left, it'd be coming up and the ball would probably start left and just kind of go off to the left. So have a couple of practice swings to start. You can focus on a bit of a grass where you're going to feel like you really horizontally move up to that ball. You're going to really start to feel how much that chucks you forward and how much you have to activate different parts of your body to reach that ball. Great way for golfers to warm up, to get feeling like they're getting across. If there's someone who hangs back, you can even hit a few shots this way. So I've hit a pretty nice shot, middle of the green, and all I've done with a crazy technique is, again, control my low point in the horizontal. Give this a go if you're someone who hits fats and fins. It transforms your ideas of getting across. So let's now think vertically. So really counterintuitive for lots of golfers. When I measure people on my Swing Catalyst force plate inside, they tend to be very buried in lead side, so connected to the ground, and they don't actually start trying to get out of their pressures in the ground till way after the ball. And this creates such fluffy strikes for so many golfers. So a great drill to trying to get you to feel like you're actually pushing up through lead side before and as you hit the ball, which generally will push this club to the ground, is just to put the club across your, say, tummy, so just above my belly button here, just looping it in with my trail hand. Got the club face pointing up to the sky here, and I'm going to try and deliver the face over that ball and pointing somewhere towards that target. To do that, I'm going to have to get up and out of my lead side. So if I just stay buried in here, I'm going to deliver this club pointing way off to the right. So to get the club to rotate down and out to that ball, I'm going to have to put plenty of rotation in. So this one adds to the last tip as well. But also what it does is it makes me have to get up out of my lead side with my body. And you'll really feel how that actually controls where the face points, which is a great way of getting some face control while controlling low point. Trying to get out of burying into lead side, which is so common, actually getting people to push up through impact, which is so counterintuitive when they're topping, actually gets that club moving down to the ground quite nicely. And starts hitting some lovely crisp strikes when you get golfers to actually get more dynamic through that golf ball. Finally, let's think about rotation for trying to help you, so more torque ideas for controlling this low point. So what happens for me, if I was someone who wanted to turn a lot through the ball, so really start opening up hips, opening up shoulders, it tends to get the handle coming in first and gets the club bottoming out second. Lots of golfers I see who tend to get a little bit stuck, sit back on this leg, or maybe rotate and sit back and don't rotate. That's when they're really starting to chunk the ground and get that low point way before the ball. So a few great rotation drills, and you can use whichever one you want. One-handed swings, so trail hand down the bottom of the club here and just feel like you're doing half swings but full power. To do that, you're going to have to really push and twist and turn to get that club through. If you're someone who just dumps, who just drops the club, what happens is you're not using your body much to drag it through. You can even do this, if you find it too easy with one club, you can do it with two. So with two, this feels heavier for me, so it makes me really start to activate my body loads more to try and get my pressures and my weights and my rotation on to get those clubs out in front of me. Again, it's another great way to warm up. So get your rotation on, get the feeling of really pulling and pushing in the ground with your feet to try and get that club moving out in front of you. So this club comes ahead of your chest. Two clubs is such a great way for so many golfers. One will feel too easy, where you do just tend to dump it. If you're someone who's dumping it, get that body rotation. Brilliant drill. And if you find that's not happening, just to get a feeling of much more rotation on the way through, you can hit a few shots with your feet very close together, but lead foot way back of trail foot, which is giving this kind of pre-opening up feel already in there. What you'll find, you can even hit shots like this maybe to warm up, just to get the feeling of what it's like to hit the ball much more rotated, open to the target. And when you get students doing this, they're just like, why don't I play like this? Like, my strike's so much better. It does limit your distance, those kind of ideas. But it's a great way of getting a feeling of moving that low point forwards and getting that strike nice and crisp. Controlling low point. I don't care what grip you've got for this stage, I don't care what posture, I don't care what perfect backswing you got, all those things. You can work on those as well, but this is a skill that you should be practicing in itself. Too much of golf lessons is around trying to get you to make some perfect swing. We're all so different. The actual ability to deliver the club to the ball forward or back of it is a skill that better players have with multiples of different techniques. Lesser skilled golfers don't have, often with very regular techniques. Practice this, your golf will transform.